Welcome back to the Fantasy Hockey Podcast and Building Winners. Time to update Thursday morning and see how our choices on Tuesday and Wednesday went. I also made quite a few moves, so it's time to update on some of those. I also have some decisions to make, so let's talk about those real quick. Let's start first with the league that I said early on in the week was going to matter the most, was second versus third in my keeper league. So let's go to ECFHL. So the matchup so far is pretty good, 6-3. I am winning. I'm doing really well in skater stats. I mean, this is ridiculous. I have a lot of starts over this person anyways. It's 59-51 starts still. They haven't made any ads, so right now it's still 59-51. I don't know how they're really going to catch up unless they make some moves later on in the weekend, I guess, but it's next day ads, so they've got to make moves somewhat soon. I did make a lot of pickups, so we'll talk about that in a second, but let's talk first about Tuesday. So Tuesday, I ended up benching Jack Hughes. That went pretty well for me. And in goaltenders, I only had Connor Hellebuyck. He lost in that shootout. Still got a .969 save percentage with 31 saves. I'm pretty much banking. I don't think I'm going to get saves. I was hoping he would have gotten a win against Jersey. That would have helped me out a lot. But I will get starts this weekend for Connor Hellebuyck and Andrei Vasilevsky. I may need to stream a goaltender if they choose not to play Hellebuyck in one of the games, because Vasilevsky has a back-to-back against Buffalo in that Swedish series out in Sweden, or international series. I'm not exactly sure what they call it. So he's going to get a back-to-back, so he won't get a start. So I'll have to see what happens there, and maybe I pick up, for example, if he does well against Buffalo, I may pick up McElhaney if he's available. And try to get just the two Tampa goaltenders for the weekend. But then Hellebuyck does not have a back-to-back and two somewhat easy games. And so I'm hoping I get two more starts out of Hellebuyck, one start out of Vasilevsky, and I'll be good on my goalie starts for the week and hopefully have a really good save percentage and maybe be able to steal wins. As for skaters, I was actually really disappointed from a points perspective how they did on Tuesday. Timo Meier had a great day, 1 goal, 1 assist. Fantastic showing after trading for him. I'm excited about that. Patty Kane got an assist. Still very down on his shots. His shots not being high don't inspire confidence. Brent Burns didn't get a point. Horvat didn't really do much, even though he got ice time. Voracek is so hit or miss recently. Kachuk has the most expected goals in the league and only has 4, so he should, I think, pick it up at some point here. That, if anything, just the peripherals alone make him super valuable for me. Taylor Hall got an assist, Kopitar, and then Pierre-Luc Dubois had a tough game versus Vegas, so he's now pointless in 2 games. They didn't do much better, though, which helped me out. They benched Greiss, which was fantastic, for Robin Lehner, which I would have never done. I would have played Greiss against Ottawa over Lehner all day, but sure, I'll take it. Riddick got a win, so right now I'm in a good lead for save percentage. Double the save. He has double the saves of me, so I don't think I'll catch saves, but of course that also makes it a little harder to keep the save percentage if one of my goalies tanks. That's okay. So really the one place I'm contentious right now in terms of what I need to catch is blocks. Everything else I feel good about, especially given how many extra starts I have. I don't think it's pretty much impossible he catches me in shots on goal at this point. Famous last words. God. Pretty hard to catch me in hits with how many starts I have over them. And given the goals and assists starts I've had, I don't feel nervous there at all. Now on Wednesday, also had a big day. So this was yesterday. Ryan Strome got a goal and a point, a power play point, 3 shots on goal. Connor McDavid with a goal, assist, a power play point, 7 shots on goal. Really set me up well, given that, I needed those points. The points are what I think could have been pretty difficult for me. I haven't had great points weeks recently, but now I feel really comfortable, and especially when you consider that some of these starts for him are goaltender starts, I feel even better about how I'm going in the week. So the moves that I made this week, let's go. Let's find my ads real quick. Okay, so I made a lot of moves all yesterday night. I put in quite a few bids and decided to kind of restructure everything for whatever reason. I don't know, but maybe it was too much tea. So I ended up dropping Eric Chernak for Sami Vatanen. I like Vatanen a lot rest of season at the moment if he can keep top power play. I also like his schedule this weekend and next week, and he's been really consistent from a points perspective recently. And that's kind of what I need. I have peripheral guys to an extent. He also blocks a little bit, and blocks are what I need. So I'll take the blocks. Not as many shots, but I'm getting such good shots from other people. I'm not too worried about not getting shots from Vatanen. I'm looking there more for the power play points and the actual points themselves. And Chernak has just been disappointing, honestly. His minutes are way down. I would have liked better shots, hits, and blocks paces. But he's someone to watch just in case that does pick up, then I may own him. It's crazy to me that Sami Vatanen is still so lowly owned at only 12%, given what he's been doing. It's pretty crazy to me. I don't know why he's not being picked up more, especially when a lot of people play in points only leagues. It's crazy to me that Vatanen is still at only 12%. I really don't think that's going to last for very long if he can keep that top power play. The other thing I did, Adam Boquist, it might be Boquist. I actually don't know. I know that the Jersey Boquist is actually Boquist, so maybe Adam is also Boquist. Are they related? Crap. That's something to think about. Anyways, I added Justin Schultz, and it kind of worked out for me. Chris Letang is out, so I just, to me, Boquist was someone that night that I dropped him, November 5th, that game against San Jose, to me was a let's see what happens. I'm gonna use it as a litmus test for Boquist and see if they're gonna give him an opportunity. And he ended up still only playing 15 minutes, and I was like, I don't want a 15-minute defender with no peripherals and no power play time. So, or only second power play time with another defenseman. So I ended up dropping him for Justin Schultz. Only cost me $2. Vatanen was $5 in free agent acquisition budget. We get $200 for the year in this one, so I'm fine using $5 in a $200 league. That's nothing for someone who could potentially be long term, right? And then all I did was swap out the Jersey centers. I swapped out Jack Hughes for Nico Hischier. Pretty much the way I see both of these guys is whoever is top line, top power play is the one to own. And right now, Hischier's been red hot, getting a ton of shots. He kind of makes up that lack of shots from Eric Chernak. And so to me, Nico Hischier is a good add for Jack Hughes, who's only playing, 15, 12 minutes again. Nico Hischier is a great analytics darling. He plays so well. And I think he's the one. He's the one who's going to keep that top line. So as far as players that I'm watching to pick up, now that I've had 3 pickups for the week, I'm not going to make any more skater moves. I'm set for the week. The goaltenders I'm kind of watching are potentially, if I think I may not get a start from Hellebuck, it might be worth picking up a Thatcher Demko, who's going to get a game here. He might get this Winnipeg game. I may want that. If we look at there's a lot of goaltenders. McElhaney is here too. It might be worth picking up McElhaney at some point to be able to get him if he plays one of these Buffalo games, which I'm assuming he will. Although they do have a break after this game on the 9th, so maybe they go back-to-back for Vasilevsky to try to get the wins against Buffalo, given that they haven't been playing very well. So Vasilevsky could get the back-to-back, honestly, especially being in Sweden. So we'll see what happens. So that might be something that I need to do. From a skater standpoint, like I said, I'm set. Today I need a bench, Thursday. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bench Pierre-Luc Dubois for Nico Hischier and Bo Horvat. Nico Hischier's just been hotter. I like that top line more, and he's been shooting a lot, whereas Pierre-Luc Dubois has not been shooting very much. I don't really need hits. I may need the blocks from Pierre-Luc Dubois, but it's a long week, and I'm not that far in blocks that I really need to be starting a forward over another forward just for blocks. That's desperate mode, and I don't need to be there just yet. Voracek to me has been so hit or miss. I like Timo Meier's matchup. Ooh, I accidentally swapped him out. I like Timo Meier's matchup against Minnesota, so I'm going to play Timo Meier instead of Voracek versus Montreal. And that's another thing with Dubois is at Arizona. I think that's a really tough matchup because Arizona just doesn't let in many goals. And then the other ones are just honestly matchup related. Ryan Strome has been great from a deployment perspective and could get me power play points. Obviously not benching Patrick Kane, so Voracek is the one to sit, and I have no goalie starts today. So we'll see what happens. I will update again tomorrow to see how Thursday went, and we'll also probably have to talk about goaltenders. So keep an eye out for tomorrow's update on ECFHL, but I feel good about this one. I'm really hoping I can steal wins for goaltending, and then I can steal those two and blocks, and hopefully here I can get, ideally I'd like to win all skater stats, and then I'm okay losing, goaltender stats aside from save percentage. I think if I could steal all skater stats and save percentage, that'd be huge, and it would launch me into first place. So hoping for the best. Okay, now with Hockrus, I'm down 5-4 at the moment. I'm being outstarted quite a bit right now because of injuries. We'll get into that. So first, let's go over how Tuesday went. So disappointing. Absolutely nobody did anything. I got a goal from Kane, a goal and assist from Meyer, and a goal from Schwartz, and nothing from anyone else. It was wildly, wildly disappointing. Didn't even do much in the peripheral department. Grubauer, who's now injured, had a bad game against Dallas. Markstrom had a good game, so I'm still feeling good about Markstrom. My optimism for wins are going down. My optimism for save percentage is still very high because save percentage is so tied to kind of team performance. And as a team, the Vancouver Canucks have been playing really well defensively. So I'm still high from a save percentage, goals against average perspective, not as high on a wins perspective. I think those will start to come down. Evander Kane is still killing it, 10th overall in the league. I love that man. Timo Meyer seems to, hopefully he starts to pick it up again. Had a good game. I have no clue why he has a 1-star matchup rating against Minnesota. That's absolutely ridiculous. That makes no sense. But then Evander Kane gets 5-star. Sure, Timo Meyer's coming off of a goal and assist, and it's Minnesota, and they give him a 1-star. I swear that thing is so arbitrary and bad. Jaden Schwartz has been playing fantastic, but these guys not doing much really screwed me. So I'm up in goals, down a lot in assists. Pims, I'm doing fine. I'm not fine. I'm up there, but not great. I would like to get more, but I have guys who can get me Pims at the drop of a dime, so I'm not too worried there. Power play points, disappointing that I only have 1. This team normally gets a lot of power play points, so it's not great to see that lacking. Shots on goal, fine. I have guys who can shoot more than they are, so I'm not too worried there. Hits and blocks, I'm crushing. I'm top in the league in both of those right now, so I'm not worried about those going forward. Blake Wheeler, one thing to watch with him that I'm a little worried about is he was moved down to the second line with Ehlers and Roslovic, so we'll see what he does. It is Vancouver at least, but I'm not thrilled that he's down to the second line. So that's going to be a big thing to watch here. And then when it came to Wednesday, Jaden Schwartz had a big day, 1-1. Oscar Klefbom got me blocks, but that's about it. Klefbom is probably on the chopping block, to be honest. The thing is that I'm doing really well in blocks. I'm actually moving up in the league in terms of blocks every single week, and a large part of that is Klefbom. So it's tough to justify dropping Klefbom for a point guy when I'm doing okay in points, but I also sacrifice one of my biggest block guys. It's really tough, and I'm not quite sure what to do there. So Klefbom is on the chopping block, but it's also not easy to let him go. So some issues. I don't want to show the. I don't want to show how much I'm bidding for some players because you never know if one of my league mates are going to watch this and then outbid me. So I'm not going to show you who I'm eyeing for pickups in this league tomorrow, just because a free agent acquisition budget. I'll talk about if I got them tomorrow. I'm not going to tell you how much I'm bidding for them. I'll show you who they are, but I'm not going to tell you how much I'm bidding. So I have 2 injuries. Jake DeBrusk went out, and Philip Grubauer is out, so that sucks. At least Jake DeBrusk doesn't play today, so I don't lose a game, or a start, rather. So now I can pick up 2 players, and I'm eyeing a defenseman, because I do want to get another offensive defenseman, and I'm also eyeing a forward for tomorrow. So now let's go to the players and see who's available. I'll tell you who I'm eyeing. So I'm eyeing, first off, Josh Morrissey. Of course, he was dropped for Vrana. Lovely for me. Very awesome. So I'm going to try to go after Josh Morrissey. I really would like to get him. I think he'd be a fantastic add and someone that potentially could replace Klefbom because he gets some blocks too. So eventually maybe could replace Klefbom. It's not at the number of blocks. I mean, if you look up Klefbom's block pace, it's insane. His block pace is up like almost completely double from last year. So it's really hard to justify dropping him, honestly. He's like a Chris Russell with upside of potentially getting points on the top power play. That's what makes him so hard to drop. But if I could get Morrissey for free without having to drop anybody right now, that'd be awesome because I'd rather have Morrissey than DeBrusk, to be honest. And then as far as a streaming option, so I need to pick up a forward. What I'm going to do is that one of the best schedules of the weekend are, let me see if I can pull up, give me 1 second. So if we look at the off nights tool real quick, I have room Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and the best schedules Friday, Saturday, Sunday happen to be the Bruins, Detroit, and Edmonton, and then Winnipeg, and New Jersey, and Vancouver. And so really I want to target one of these guys, which makes honestly Morrissey even more valuable because I'll be able to play him on both of these days. And then the issue is the forward problem. And right now I'm down in shots on goal, if you'll remember. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go after a Vancouver player here who shoots a lot, and that would happen to be Tanner Pearson. So I'm going to go after Tanner Pearson, hope for the best that I get him. He's been shooting a lot. These last 2 games, he hasn't shot very much. Before that, he was on a tear, so I'm going to hope that he still continues to shoot and just take the gamble. If he doesn't shoot, the thing that I'm thinking of doing, actually, is I'm thinking of then dropping Tanner Pearson and picking up someone who plays Saturday, Sunday. So then that way I actually get 3 starts from a streamer spot rather than just 1. So that's what I'm going to pay attention to here because I could pick up Tanner Pearson for this game against Winnipeg and then drop him and pick up one of these teams that play. For example, I could pick up a Mishiev So Ilya Mishiev plays for Toronto Saturday, Sunday. He's also been shooting a lot, so I would get 2 games out of Mishiev and 1 out of Tanner Pearson. And so then that way I get a maximum of 3 starts, which would be really, really nice. So that's something that I'm eyeing. So let's see if I can find Ilya here. Okay, cool. Let's watch him here because he's someone that I'd pay attention to for that Saturday, Sunday. Also insane, he's 22% owned, but fine. Okay, now looking at return of the backups in my points league, I'm doing well, not too far off from my projection. They're doing well, but they are just above their projection, and even then, they're only at 102.89. I'm at 114 projected, so I'm feeling good. I'm not too worried. I outstart them by quite a bit, 46 to 42. That's good for me. So let's take a look at how Tuesday went. Tuesday was solid, actually. I got some good points. I made the mistake of benching Timo Meier, but I did bench him for Jaden Schwartz, if you'll remember, and so it wasn't that bad. Jaden Schwartz ended up getting 44.9 points, 5.7 from Timo Meier. I wasn't going to play him over Cam Atkinson or David Pasternak or Kyle Connor, so ultimately it's fine. Like, I would have ended up benching Jaden Schwartz and gained a few points, so I'm not too bummed about that. It could have been worse, honestly. So Chabot didn't do much. Pionk didn't do much, which we'll talk about. I dropped Pionk. And then my goaltenders, well, they were whatever. I risked it. I risked Carey Price against Boston, and I lucked out. This could have been so much worse. You got 0.75, and the thing that bailed me out was his win. If he hadn't gotten a win, this would have been really, really bad. Most of their points are coming from Ben Bishop at the moment in 10.5. From Bishop, so that's where he's kind of keeping up at the moment. Bishop's been unbelievable, so I'm a little worried about this Winnipeg game. I don't want to play Bishop, but at least I only get 1 more game against him. Holtby has also been playing really well. He's going to get the Florida game, maybe gets the Vegas game, but I think Florida's been scoring so much. That's actually, I think, going to be a tough game for him, but he's played well against Toronto, who is a high-scoring team, so we'll see, but I think he's going to have a good game today, which will make it a little tough for me. And then looking at Wednesday, I had a pretty good day. Jaden Schwartz, I only had 1 guy going, but I got a goal and assist from Jaden Schwartz, but they matched me with Braden Shen and Justin Falk, so it wasn't really for much. I got 5.1, 5.3, but because I have more starts than them, I'm actually okay just kind of keeping pace on low days like this. I'm happy to keep pace, and I didn't have any goaltenders going, so that's okay. Okay, so for the moves that I made today, or over the week, I guess, I've been busy. So the first thing I did was I dropped Neil Pionk and picked up Adam Boquist, just because this league is a lot of Chicago fans, and I thought I'm going to pick up Boquist before anybody else and just see what happens in case, because remember I said that game, I picked him up for that San Jose game, and I was like, okay, well, if he gets top power play in San Jose, then he's going to be a great ad. If he's not, then whatever, I drop him, and no harm, no foul. I'm not too worried. So he ended up not doing anything, so I dropped him immediately for Sami Vatanen, so I didn't even get a game out of Boquist, which is fine. I'm not too worried about that again. I hadn't used any of my ads. So I picked up Sami Vatanen. Sami Vatanen's been doing well. I could use him in that defensive spot, so I'm gonna keep him and see what happens. I like him a lot more over Boquist at the moment. Again, the fact that he's only 12% owned is pretty insane to me, and I was shocked that he was still available. And then news that Chris Letang is gonna miss the weekend made me pick up Justin Schultz, and I dropped Devan Dubnyk. Yep, my number 1 waiver claim, and Devan Dubnyk has been dropped. Now, why did I do this? The reason I did it was because when you take a look at this week and you take a look at next week, I was benching Devan Dubnyk a lot. And I don't want to bench Devan Dubnyk, and Justin Schultz has upside in points, for now at least. And honestly, there's a lot of good goaltender streaming options at the moment, much better than Devan Dubnyk. And when I look at it, I'd rather, for example, if I'm going to keep a goalie there on my bench, I'd rather have Demko, who I could put in whenever Markstrom's not playing. And that's going to work out better for me than Devan Dubnyk, who I'm just not really playing at the moment. And honestly, Minnesota, I'm just not very high on. And when you watch the games, I actually kind of like Devan Dubnyk's play since he came back from injury. I like how he's been playing himself. He passes the eye test. The problem is that Minnesota doesn't pass the eye test, and they're bad. And they make his life really, really difficult. And so I see him as this guy who probably is going to let in quite a few goals every game. And like this 2-point game is kind of what you're looking at for Devan Dubnyk, I think. Occasionally 5-point games. But for the most part, I think you're going to see more 2-point games out of Devan Dubnyk than you are 5-point games. And they're not giving up many shots either, which is not helping. In the past, Devan Dubnyk had a lot of shots against, and so that at least helped bring up those points if he let in goals. So Devan Dubnyk, to me, whatever, I missed out on him. I like how my own goaltenders are playing. So I like that Markstrom and Dubnyk I like that he's there. Markstrom, Bobrovsky, and Carey Price can kind of carry me the rest of the way. And Bob has been playing well. So today I need to bench Carey Price and Bob are going to be my starts, I think. Just going to go with my best players, not question it. I really like Jacob Markstrom at Chicago today if he plays, but he might play against Winnipeg. So for now, he's on the bench. I would maybe play him over Bob, maybe, just because of matchup. But Bob has been playing really, really well. He has 2 straight wins, 2 good games. I'm going to trust him against Washington, I think. I like how Florida is playing. Vancouver just hasn't gotten many wins, and Chicago can't really score. But I don't know how Markstrom is a 1-star against Chicago. It's just, I hate this new matchup rating thing so much. It's so dumb. It's so bad. So arbitrary. Anyways, and then Dubnyk, I'm not going to play him against San Jose away. So we'll go with what's there. And then I have to make a decision on center. It's either, really, I'm playing Barkov no matter what. So Barkov has to play. And then the decision here is really Barkov or Pierre-Luc Dubois. Pierre-Luc Dubois is at Arizona. Kopitar or Pierre-Luc Dubois. Kopi is at Ottawa. Very easy matchup. How is he a 1-star? God, it's so annoying. This makes no sense. He scored 0 goals in the last 5 games. So what? He's scoring assists. He's playing 20 minutes a game, and it's against Ottawa. How is that a 1-star matchup? God. And then Pierre-Luc Dubois gets 4 stars. Come on, Yahoo. Be better than this. Be better. Anyways, I'm benching Pierre-Luc Dubois against Arizona. Arizona is tough to score on. And Pierre-Luc Dubois has been kind of cold these last 2 games, even though playing 19 minutes. And I like the matchup of Kopitar versus Ottawa. Anyways, I'm going to go yell at Yahoo some more and somewhere else and on Discord or something. Let me know what you think of my moves and how your leagues are going. I always like hearing about how other leagues are going in the comments on these. And other than that, thank you for watching. I'll catch you tomorrow for another Building Winners update.